Hey YouTube, welcome back to WJ's World. Boy, is it sunny out here for a fall day, but it's looking really good. I got a job that I got to go check on today to see if I can deliver it early. So I'm gonna go head over to this building because it's right down the street. The first C.H. Robinson load I did going from Southside Richmond to Northside Richmond, C.H. Robinson just called me this morning and said, could I take that same load? And I can. Only problem is it's Tuesday and it needs to be picked up on Thursday and delivered on Friday, but then I got the Ferguson load on Friday. So I'm gonna go talk to them right now to see if I can deliver this load Thursday afternoon. And it's what, 20 something miles, $350. So it's a real good load and I don't wanna turn it down. And if I have to deliver it on Friday, then I'm just gonna have to be just a little bit late for the Ferguson load because I can't turn this load down just because it's so easy. And then with him calling me or thinking about me, I wanna make sure if they call, I answer and can do the job that he's asking, because then they won't think of you. You know, it's one hand washes the other type deal. So I was very appreciative that the guy from C.H. Robinson actually contacted me. I missed the call, but I called him right back. He was like, Warren? I was like, yeah. And he was telling me, hey, I got that same load, same price if you want to do it on Thursday. So I'm like, yeah, I can do it 100%. So I'm gonna go right down the street and talk to this guy. Hopefully I can deliver this load a little early. I got a jacket on, but it doesn't feel like fall today. I feel like I got to turn my AC on because it feels fantastic out here. The fall colors, oh man, Virginia is one of the best places to come if you want to see the trees turn. It's so beautiful. Here we are right here. Look at that, they have a XPO truck right there backing up. I'm pretty sure I can come here in the afternoon, but I just want to come by and actually make sure. All right, I'm gonna go up in here and talk to these people real quick, and then we'll figure out what we're gonna do for the rest of this video. Okay, cool beans. So I spoke with the warehouse manager here, and I am able to drop off Thursday afternoon. So that means when I go pick up in Southside around 8, and I'm able to come over here and drop them off around 1, he said, because they get real slammed on Thursdays, and I remember him saying that. There's two things that I want to discuss with everybody. One is a hack, somewhat of a hack, a cheat code to actually get you guys some extra money what if you have any downtime. And this is in every major city, and the other one is kind of like what we need to discuss when it comes to the box truck world and the glitz and the glamour of this profession. I've gotten some comments and concerns about the box truck world, and so I want to talk to you guys about that from my take and my point from me being brand new to the field as well, and you know, the opportunities that you have in the field. So let's go ahead and head back to the house, and we'll sit down and have a little talk. Okay, so one of the first things I want to talk about, which is somewhat of a hack in certain areas, is the pallet game. For the longest time, I've been trying to figure out how or where do you take pallets. And mind you, everything we deal with in a box truck has a pallet, pretty much everything. When it comes to pretty much all my loads, pretty much every single one, it's on some form of a pallet. Now, the pricier pallet is the 4840. That's the standard pallet, especially if it has access from a forklift on all 4 directions. That's the one you really want to look for. But there are places that take all types of pallet because wood is wood, and they can literally build the type of pallet that they want depending on the type of wood that it is. So around here, we got a hustler's culture in Richmond. And I've always seen guys with their pickup trucks with 1,000 pallets, maybe not 1,000, like 50, 60 pallets loaded up on the back of their trucks dangerously. And this big bad boy can take 200 easy. So I started to do some research, and I called around to see exactly how much these pallets are going for, being that we have access to so many of them, and a lot of the places that we deal with, they don't even care for the pallet. They want the product that's sitting on the pallet, and the pallet is basically useless to them. After doing a little research, I actually found 2 companies here in Richmond, which in every major city, somebody is doing this. And even if it's any type of city, honestly, if you have a warehouse, somebody's grabbing those pallets. So After doing a little research, the companies that I found in Richmond, they actually give around $2.75 to $3.50 per used pallet. So you do the numbers, that's an Amazon load at the very bare minimum for you taking in well, technically that would be better than an Amazon load. If you had 200 pallets, if you can get up 200 pallets, which is not hard to do, even in one day, that's not hard to do. I got access to probably 50 or 60 pallets that I can go get right now. It's just a little hack, can get you some gas money if anything. It's local. The places that you go to, that you deliver to, if they got pallets that they want to send back with you, you can take those pallets and then go get some gas money at the very minimum. And at the same time, if you wanted to actually hustle hard with the pallets, you can make, you know, $200, $300, $400, $500, $600 a day if you have the network or built out the network to get these pallets. Like I said, a lot of these companies, they don't care for the pallet, but they've paid for the pallet already via their shipment. So they don't really care about the pallet. They want to get rid of the pallet. And a lot of companies, the pallet is actually in their way. So if you could, if you're looking for it's not going to sustain the truck, but I look for anything I can put into this box. And that's one of the things I want to talk about too. Whatever you can put into this box, whatever deal you can make to get a product in the box, do it, because that keeps you afloat. So me looking at these pallets is just another avenue for me to make a couple bucks to survive the next day, survive the next week. And if you can get up 200-300 pallets in the span of a week or two and just take them in once every 2 weeks, that's still good money. That's a whole load. Maybe that day you can sit home and not have to drive or something. But it's just something that you can do to possibly make some more money on the side. Oh my goodness, it is warm out here. It is not feeling like a fall day. I'm gonna do a little cleaning in here. I like to clean my box every once in a while. I try to clean it as things go in and out because a lot of broken pallet parts are in here. So one of the companies that I called actually went by the warehouse. He takes broken pallets, but of course it'd be a lot cheaper for a broken pallet, but still it gives you an avenue to make a couple bucks off that. But really the money maker would be a full used pallet, a 4840, 48 long, 40 inches wide pallet. That's the standard size pallet. And everybody looks for those. Now, mind you, if you could find a supplier or a buyer that actually will buy them directly from you, you can sell them upwards of $6 to $10 per pallet. Okay, the money starts looking a hell of a lot different if you can sell them directly to a customer. So if you knew somebody or a warehouse that needed pallets or bought pallets, and you say, hey, I got pallets, I got 100 of them, $6 a pallet. Now you're looking at some real money. But that's just one of the things that I go through in my week. Like I said, whatever can fit inside this thing, I'm trying to put inside of it, whatever it is. I don't care what it is, as long as it fits in between these walls, it's coming in here if I can make that deal. One of the other things I wanted to talk about is this business might not be for you. And that's okay. If I had to count how many businesses I started and failed, the numbers will be staggering and ridiculous, but those are learning experiences, and that's okay. So sometimes you get into things, especially through the hype of YouTube. You see all the YouTube success. You see the box truck couple trucking out the box, Big Vic, me to a degree. You see our success, and it makes you want to hop into it. It made me want to hop into it, seeing other people's success. But the hustle that you have to do in this business is on another level, and you might not be up for it. Actually, let me change that. You might be up for it, but sometimes the hurdles get so big. That's why businesses fold, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's called a learning experience. Even when it comes to the money that you put into it, how many times, how many businesses I've started, put a bunch of money into it and then failed. Still, it's almost like going to school to me. You know, you put a bunch of money into school and then you don't end up doing the career that you went for. But, you know, that's life. So when it comes to this business, it's not for everybody, and that's okay. You get into it. Let's say you got a truck, rented a truck, or let's say you bought a truck and you're working it and it's just not working out. You're finding it difficult to find loads. You can't find loads. I have the same problem. We all have the same problem, but it's overwhelming for you. And you just don't think it's for you. That's okay. Don't feel bad if you got to get out of this, because if business in general, most businesses fail. But in the trucking business, lots of companies go under, lots of trucks, things happen to trucks, and there's nothing we can do about it. You move on, you readjust, you take your knowledge that you learned in this field and you move on to the next thing. The next thing might be out of transportation. It might be something totally different. It could be dispatching, or it could be back to a job, which there's nothing wrong with that. If you have your career path and your focus, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm starting to get more messages of people that are having a really difficult time trying to stay afloat. And yeah, even though right now things are great, like even with the issue going on in California off the coast and all the freight and all the backups and people not working, things are still great. And it still might not be for you. And still that's okay. It's kind of hard to put down so much money and get this insurance and go through all these steps, and you see everybody on YouTube making all this money and you're not the one doing it. That sucks. That's life. You know, sometimes you got to roll with those punches. And I've rolled with a lot of punches over the years and jumped into things that I thought were going to be lucrative that turned out weren't at all. But what can you do? That's just the way things go. So anybody that's having the feeling of this is not for them, hey man, you know, get out while you can and move on to the next thing. This entrepreneur lifestyle is a tough one, regardless of which business you start. The hours are longer, the work is harder, the rewards are higher, but that's after the first two. And that's what a lot of people might not understand when they first start or get into it. They might not understand that. But even though for those that do understand it, it still is, you know, almost like a crapshoot. It's almost like a luck of the draw. I don't want to say 100% luck of the draw, because hard work will get you where you're trying to go pretty much 100% of the time. Maybe not to the degree that you thought, but it will keep you afloat, because every day there's a box truck moving some product somewhere. Is it yours? That's the question. And how do you make it yours, or put something in your truck to move every single day? That's just one of the things, you know, you have to look at when you're getting into this business, especially when you're enamored with everybody on YouTube. Not that I'm bashing any of those guys, or their success stories are valid, and if you go over them, you'll see the extreme, like for instance, trucking out the box. From their first video, when you go back and watch their first video and see the dedication that they put in, they went on the road. They dropped everything and went on the road, you know, and lived in that truck damn near, in hotels, you know. The dedication that took. What you should do is go to their channel and ask them how many no's do they get, because that's the key right there. You're seeing all the yeses. And even across YouTube, you see everybody says, I got this load. Even me, myself, I got this load, I got that load, I got this load. But how many no's do I get? This entire week, I've been hearing no all week long. I just got a yes for Thursday. That's my C.H. Robinson load. And then I got my load on Friday. So this is not for the faint of heart, like one of my subscribers said. This isn't. It's not for the faint of heart. And you'll hear a lot more no's than you hear yeses. But when you hear those yeses, they can pay the bills and hopefully get you to the next week, month, year, or whatever. Unfortunately, a lot of people are going to fold before they become successful. A lot of people are going to fold or go under because of money. You got to run the truck. You got to pay your insurance. If you got a truck note, or if you're renting, you know, it would be nice if everybody owned their trucks, but I don't even own outright my truck. I got a payment. A lot of people will fold before they get to the point to where they're actually stuffing more money in the bank than what's coming out. And then if the truck breaks, I mean, there's all types of issues in this field, but this is no different than any other business, other than we have a piece of equipment that kind of like does everything for this business. But it's always an uphill battle. Even for the ones that are meeting that great success that you see on YouTube. Use those as stories to aspire to, but they're not the baseline. The baseline, if you look in the field, is actually most of us fail. That's just the way it goes. Another option you have is to step up to a Class A. If you step up to a Class A, things change. The world opens up to you. The box truck game right now, not a game, the box truck business right now is somewhat, I don't know if it's frowned upon because we can get into it so easy. Same thing applies. This thing carries the same items that a tractor trailer carries, but they just look at it different, as if it's not as valuable. But if you step up to a Class A, the whole world opens up to you. You get a tractor, you get a semi, and the world is your oyster then. So that's another thing I would say. If you have the money and you're enamored with what you see on YouTube in the box truck world, I would say get your Class A just in case. Doesn't hurt to have it. You got to do, other than the drug consortium, you got to have all the same stuff. We got to all have the same stuff other than being part of a drug consortium with your Class A. So I would say get your Class A and you're in a whole different world then. And nothing is close to you, absolutely nothing if you wanted to get a semi and skip right over the box truck, and then 100% you'll be able to make the money, 100%. And locally, you don't have to drive to California from Virginia. You can drive to North Carolina, drive to Pennsylvania and make great money every single day, every single week. Basically what I'm trying to say is for those out there that are thinking about getting into this business, research, and be prepared to work your hardest. If you're not, I would say hold off and maybe try something else. There's other fields, especially if you have the money. If you have, 20 grand and you're ready to jump in and you're ready to get your authority, there are other things that you can do, like hotshot, for instance. Little less money, same profits damn near. And actually, their hotshot is more accepted than the box truck, which is crazy. But I would say hold off, think a little before you make the jump. Now, if you're already in, work, get up every day and figure out where you're gonna get your next load from. That's kind of like the entrepreneur spirit to me. I personally live off of getting up and gonna go find that next load. That's kind of like what I've been doing for about 10 years now. And it's worked out for me. Not every time. There's times where I went broke. Times where I had to close businesses. I've closed lots of businesses. I only need one to be super successful. I don't need them all to be super successful, just one. So there's times where I've closed lots of businesses and had to go get a job to build my money back up, to jump out again. That's what I just did. That's how I was able to get my lunch trailer up and running. And then I flipped that to this box truck. That's what I did. So I would say to anybody trying to start this, just do your research and be prepared to work your absolute hardest. Work your butt off because it's out here. You just got to be willing to do whatever it takes to get it. Hit the road, local, overnight, get out of your comfort zone and you can succeed, okay? So, yeah, this is the end of this video. I'm gonna go ahead and keep sweeping this stuff out of here. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment any questions, concerns, put them in the comment section. And I will see you guys in the next video because somebody just started cutting grass in November. Peace.